We all wake up to the same source of life, giving energy in the sun, no matter how much or no matter how little you have or do not have. The same way we all need life-flowing waters, spiritual waters, to bathe our souls in. It's really a miracle how we can work the land and obtain everything our body needs to nourish it just from that. Now, this guidance is always there, but oftentimes through our own ignorance or just not knowing, we end up 47% of Americans report feeling all alone, either most of the time or some of the time. So exactly where are these dark feelings coming from, and what's the root of the problem? No matter how great we feel our life is, these kinds of things can turn our lives upside down, and a burn inside will stay there until it becomes overwhelming and there's nothing else we can do except manufacture all of this negativity in our own brains. Therefore, we end up stealing away our own happiness. The death of our own heart is in the hands of every one of us. That's not to say, of course, that there are no spiritual forces, strong spiritual or supernatural, if you will, forces. We fly through life unwittingly, causing ourselves more stress, more anxiety, and more self-harm than we could ever realize. The real pandemic that we suffer is right between our own ears, in our minds. Just how do we understand each other? Because that is the answer. If we could only find a way to really understand one another. It's time for the human race to wake up, become aware and conscious of what life is really about and how important it is to treat each other with respect and love. True awareness and consciousness starts in our brain, which are magnificent marvels. In future videos, we'll explain exactly how that process is, where your heart is actually more in tune and controlling part of your brain. Knowing what we know, it's hard to say there isn't a spiritual world that exists, and spirituality is driving most of our thoughts and our hearts. Ever since we were young, it's been pounded into our head that we have to be the best, we have to succeed, we have to be the best at this. Unfortunately, society has actually wronged their own people, every one of us. The way we think and see the universe was limited, to say the least. Helping one another should be the excellence that we strive for, especially in the United States. Our good old ways of who has the most just will not work anymore. So this brings us to what will we change, and more importantly, how will we change or make these changes? But first, let's take a look at why childhood experiences, family upbringings that turn into our reality, along with what we learned by also gaining insight and ideas from our environment. If we valued helping one another above wealth, the world would be a much better place. There's a mental, emotional, and spiritual power that comes from helping others. It's scientifically proven that helping others doesn't just make the world a better place, it makes you better. Please like, share, and subscribe